I came home early and heard my girlfriend bragging about cheating on me, so I left without a word. Now she's desperately trying to find me, but I've blocked her everywhere. I'm 38, my girlfriend is 36, and we've been together for 5 years. I just found out she cheated on me, and it happened in the worst way possible. A bit about me. I've never been married and have no kids. Not that I didn't want them, but life turned out differently. Here's what happened. Last Friday after work, I went on a weekend trip with the guys to a lake house owned by one of my friends. Nothing special, just fishing, drinking, games, and good relaxation. We do these getaways about every 3 months to spend time apart from our partners, so to speak. Usually, I stay until Monday morning and head straight to work, but this time, I forgot my laptop at home. So, around 4 p.m. on Sunday, I drove back, planning to be home by 6 o'clock. I thought my girlfriend, let's call her Rachel, probably hadn't eaten dinner yet, so I ordered food from our favorite Italian restaurant, picked it up, and headed home. When I walked in, everything seemed normal. I heard Rachel laughing in the kitchen and decided to surprise her. But as I got closer, I started listening to her phone conversation and my world collapsed. I assumed she was talking to her sister or a friend, and the conversation went something like this. Last night was absolutely amazing. He's such an attentive lover. I'm telling you, I've never had anything like it. We met on Tinder, and yesterday he took me on a date. As soon as we got to the apartment, we barely made it to the couch. Oh God, he's so big, twice the size of my name. I'm definitely writing him again. After those words, I just dropped the food on the floor. Rachel turned at the noise, tears already welling up in my eyes. She hung up and tried to approach me, but I pushed her away, grabbed my laptop from the office, and left. For the last 4 days, Rachel has been nonstop calling and texting me, but I haven't responded. I'm staying at a motel in another town, so she's unlikely to find me. Friends and my mom have called too, since Rachel, in a panic, tried to figure out where I am, but I reassured them I'm fine. One stupid phone call ruined my life. I genuinely thought I'd spend my life with this woman. I'm an only child, and Mom constantly reminds me she wants grandkids. I was planning to propose on July 4th, our 6th anniversary. The ring's already bought, and my friend and his wife knew since they introduced us. I'd be grateful for any advice. This is my first experience with infidelity in a relationship. I'm completely broken. Should I contact Rachel and hear her out after what I heard? The mere thought of her disgusts me. Thanks to anyone who responds. She bragged about cheating on you. You'll never forget that. Time to move on. She showed her true colors. Be glad you found out now, not after years of marriage. You've heard all you need from her. Ask friends to grab your stuff and never speak to her again. The only closure might come from her side. Never give her a chance to apologize. Ignore her friends or anyone trying to pass her messages. I agree with the previous comment. You're likely a good guy who can't imagine doing this to her, so you'll want to understand and fix things to be the one chosen. Make going back impossible. You dodged a bullet. Believe me, I learned last year that half my life was a lie after 27 years of marriage and 3 kids. My wife cheated multiple times over the years. I had a chance to leave the first year when I suspected infidelity, but I tried to understand and forgive. Don't make my mistake. Update 1. Hi everyone. First, I want to thank you all for the kind words. It's been a very tough week, and though I lacked the energy to reply to comments, I read them all. Your words helped me get through this period. It was a real blow, and everyone who wrote or supported me, even a little, brightened my week. Now, to the latest news. Last Friday, when my friends came to my hotel, I told them what I heard. All 3 were shocked, to say the least. They asked if I'd noticed any signs, but honestly, I hadn't. I admitted I don't know what to do now, said the proposal is off, and given the circumstances, they fully understood. Before heading to me, I asked them to turn off location tracking on their phones if their partners checked, so info about my whereabouts wouldn't reach Rachel. I know she's close to one friend's wife and didn't want to risk it. That evening, we hit the hotel bar, and I went on a bender, shots nonstop. It was a pitiful sight. My friends kept getting calls from their girlfriends and wives asking where they were, but they held firm, saying we're fine and not to worry. One wife insisted on speaking to me, suspecting where they were, but I refused. She kept saying Rachel's worried and just wants me home. I told my friend to handle his wife. Most of the night, I flirted with the bartender, something I'm not proud of, and a few businesswomen on a trip. The next day, I thanked my friends for their support, and they went home. This week, I asked one friend to check the house Rachel and I rented, since he passes it on his commute. He said Rachel took Monday and Tuesday off, but was back at work Wednesday. As soon as I heard, I went home and started packing. The place was a mess. Dirty dishes in the sink, clothes everywhere, trash bin full of takeout containers. It took me 3.5 hours to gather my things. Before leaving, I cleaned the house as a final gesture. By evening, I was flooded with calls and messages from Rachel, realizing I'd been there and taken my stuff. For now, I'm staying with my mom until I find a place. I talked to our landlord, who won't remove me from the lease without Rachel's signature, meaning I'll have to pay my half until October. Mom said I can stay with her until then, and then find new housing. Yes, a 38-year-old man moving back with his mom. Great. Thanks, life. On Thursday, I finally contacted Rachel and said we could meet at a bar downtown Friday evening. I warned I'd bring a friend for a calm setting. She complained for a few minutes, wanting me home to talk and work through it together, but I made it clear I'd only meet on my terms. She eventually agreed. Friday evening, Rachel arrived while my friend and I were already at the bar. I'd eaten and had a couple of shots to steady my nerves. We sat, and Rachel started rambling about how I'm doing and such. I cut through the nonsense, saying I had a list of questions. Her eyes filled with tears. I asked how long it had been going on. She swore it was the first and only time. I told her to stop lying, that we had no chance of reconciling, so she should just tell the truth to let me move on. She stuck to her story for a few minutes, but, as many predicted, admitted that every time I went on trips the last 2 years, she thought I was cheating, so she entertained herself in response. I was livid. I called it a pathetic excuse to sleep around and asked who she was talking to on the phone, but she refused to answer. I asked if she used protection. She said, "Sometimes." I replied she's lucky I tested for STDs and came up clean, so she needn't worry, unless her last fling skipped it. Finally, I told her about my plan to propose on July 4th, showed the ring, and said I'd planned it at our friend's party where we met. That's when she broke down, begging for another chance. I said I'd always love her, but it's over. So yes, she's been messaging me all day, but I'll block her soon. For now, I'm eating Buffalo Wild Wings, drinking beer, and watching fights, hoping Poirier wins, but I doubt it. My life's a mess. Anyway, thanks guys for listening. Not sure I'll update this story again, as I doubt I'll ever speak to that wretch again. Comments. I knew she'd say it was just once. They all do. That line. Every time you went on trips the last 2 years, I thought you were cheating, so I entertained myself, is classic blame shifting from cheaters. It's your fault, buddy. Sure. Too bad the landlord didn't remove you from the lease, but at least you have your mom. Not ideal, but a temporary fix. 100% her loss. She was a step from being your wife. A good man chose her, wanted her, and she blew it for fun. Now focus on yourself and recovery. Easy on the alcohol, take care, you'll get through this. Author, I'm glad you dumped her and sad she turned out this way. Using, I thought you were cheating, so I entertained myself, is just sad. Why wouldn't she name who she was on the phone with? I bet it's someone in your circle, maybe a friend's wife. She avoided the name to avoid trouble if that guy is also cuckolded. Warn your friends about this possibility. As for her bar reaction, she felt no real guilt, she dosed out truth. If she felt guilty, she'd have cried before you mentioned the ring. She only realized she screwed up when you showed it and revealed your plan. Now leave alcohol behind and move on. Travel, do something for yourself. Hope you're okay. And if you learn who she was talking to, write an update. Update 2. Hi guys, I want to thank you again for the support. It really means a lot. A few things happened in the last day, so I decided to share. Nothing too thrilling, but still. Rachel's no longer invited to the July 4th party at our friend's place, so now I can relax without worrying about running into her. If you recall from the first update, one wife tried talking to me. She's the party host. Turns out Rachel told her it was a one-time mistake and a huge error, so she tried convincing me to talk it out. When I met this friend's wife Tuesday, I told her the full truth. She called Rachel, who confirmed it. The wife flipped out, yelling at her, saying she'd better not show at the party since I'd be there. She called Rachel's behavior disgusting and vile, then apologized to me, not for Rachel, but for herself, not knowing the real story. I explained she had nothing to apologize for. We both believed a liar we thought was close. As for who Rachel was talking to when I overheard, I'm almost sure it was her sister. Two friends claim they knew nothing of the cheating. Apparently on Saturdays when I was away, they had girls' nights at our place, drinking wine and chatting until 11 p.m. One wife, not particularly close to Rachel but at those nights, confirmed she never heard of cheating. Another reason I think it was her sister, she's tried calling or texting me 3 times, but no response, no messages, no calls. Rachel's mom also called, saying she's in deep depression over our breakup and asked if anything could change my mind. I said nothing in the world would. Monday, I returned to work after a week off, so I'm back in my routine. I'm cutting back on alcohol. My liver will thank me. This community has helped immensely, and I'm truly grateful to each of you. Not sure I'll update again, as this feels like the end. By the way, I've blocked Rachel everywhere, so she can't reach me. The party host said Rachel's not doing well, though she said that before knowing the truth. You know, I don't feel great either, but I'm moving on, leaving it behind. Second story, caught my